everyone. I'm Shanta, and welcome to From the Front Row, the podcast where style meets soul, where we go beyond the glam, beyond the runway, and into the real stories behind the creatives shaping fashion and beauty culture. Today's guest is a celebrity hair and makeup artist whose talent, creativity, and eye for beauty have helped create unforgettable looks in both in front of the camera and behind the scenes. From building her name in a competitive industry to honing her craft and navigating the business side of beauty, she has really stepped into her power and she's moving the culture forward. So she's a true testament of what passion meets perseverance and persistence. So please welcome the incredibly talented Miss Sophia Porter. Hey,
Hi.
Sophia. Thanks so much for being here. It's been so long since I've seen you. I don't know, probably over a decade, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
oh my God. It's been so
So
long, and thank you for having me. It's so good to see you.
thank
God,
you.
we had so much fun working together back then.
We
Oh my
did.
God.
And it was a couple of photo shoots, and I had the time of my life. So I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get Sophia on here. So thanks again for taking the time. Welcome to the pod. And with further ado, we'll just jump right in and get into it. So
Sounds
let's
good.
kind of take it from the beginning. Your early years and entering this industry. So how did you first get started in the beauty business before the industry even knew your name? What made you fall in love with makeup, hair, and beauty?
Okay, so this will probably it'll speed this along if I preface everything I'm about to say going forward in this podcast that my special interest, because I'm neurodivergent, I'm ADHD autistic, has always been beauty and science, but mainly, like, in this case, it's beauty, with some science overlap, of course. But that's like my thing. It's always been my thing. And since I was little, like as long as I can remember, like in preschool, like playing with makeup, my grandma and I would go shopping. And she went to finishing school. So she was always done up, hair dyed, nails, fake lashes every day, still till this day, mind you. Still till this day. So it's like, my influences of my grandma and then Posh Spice, just the fabulosity of like the early 90s, mid 90s to early 2000s was really formative for me in my childhood with beauty. But I ended up going to college for
Oh,
biochemistry.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a bit different,
However,
right?
right? Like it's like
So you
so
definitely have
funny.
brains behind the beauty. So
It's funny how it all like, comes together, of course, at the end of the day. But like throughout high school and in college, like I was doing hair and makeup for friends, I get paid a little bit of money from their parents or whatever to do it. And it was kind of like a side hustle. And then it kind of dawned on me when I was about to transfer schools. I was gonna go finish up my degree at Loyola. But at the time, like back then, over 10 years ago, after all was said and done, it was going to cost me almost like 60 grand a year. So that's
wow.
when I was like,
Okay.
nah, I'm like, every one of my friends seems to be getting into modeling. Let me do some shoots. And then, from there on out, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a million and one test shoots later,
Here you
got
are.
agency repped, and here we are.
So when you decided to make that jump, were
Mhm.
there any resistance against that, going from biochemistry to makeup? Did you get the support that you needed to make that transition?
I mean, I lived with my grandma at the time, like when I was in college. So she was fully supportive of anything I wanted to do. And I was paying for college out of pocket. So no one could tell me what to do. It was like,
Point taken.
I don't, and I was like, I want to see someone try to tell me what to do because no. And,
Good
at the
point.
beginning, it was kind of rough because, my family, like distant family, and I know they didn't like mean any harm by it, but they would be very judgmental. They're like, oh, are you still like selling makeup? I'm like, I've never done that, but okay.
Right. They just didn't
Um,
understand the opportunities and you could have a real career. So it's understandable.
right. So it took a long time for like people to grasp what I did. But I mean, no, I mean, my grandma's always been my biggest cheerleader, and like we've always been super close. So it's like the only opinion that mattered was hers, and my friends, like my real friends were very supportive, and I didn't really have too much pushback because I didn't allow it.
Well, I'm glad you pushed forward and followed your passion because you're killing it now. So,
You.
next question I have for you: what did the early version of your dream look like when you first got started? What were your goals and aspirations, and how did that kind of change once you found yourself in the middle of this amazing industry?
Well, I don't know if I really had like a particular vision, but I think I'm a very persistent and determined person, and I will get what I want at a certain point. So I think the fact that, when I do something, I want to do it to the best that I absolutely can and take it as far as I absolutely can. if it's something I'm really like fixated on, I'm like, this is what I want. I'm going to do it. And we're going to go like pedal to the metal and just all in because there's no plan B.
So when you face
Yeah.
obstacles, or has there been any sort of obstacle that did make you pause and say, wait a minute, is this really the direction I want to go in? Or were you just always holding steadfast to the end game and where you saw yourself and just kept going on the same path?
I think I was like overall, like baseline, pretty steadfast, even though, of course, there's bumps in the road for everyone. And typically it was like financial. But I mean, you know, I was in my early 20s when I really went like full-time freelance.
Mm.
And prior to that, I was having like, 2 to 3 jobs at a time that I would work. And then addition at one point going to beauty school just to get my license, just to have it. And I was juggling so much and, I was able to push it because I feel like I had more energy then, of course. But yeah, I mean, there was definitely times where I would second guess, but then I would kind of just bring it back and I'm like, no, I'm like, we're doing this. I'm like, I'm damn good at what I do and no one's going to tell me otherwise. And
I love that.
yeah, thank you.
I love the inner confidence. I really, that really resonates with me. I'm kind of the same way, but I will say, in me trying to step into styling, and decades later, I'm still trying to keep styling back and get styling back in my life. I would say there was definitely for me that struggle of working in corporate America and really trying to figure out testing with factor, like how the heck am I going to do both? I can't walk away
It's
from the
hard.
salary. So I mean, I really admire, even as early in your early 20s, that you were kind of already stepping into being a freelance artist and just keep continuing that path. And I definitely recommend people, when you have a passion, you have to just figure it out and everything kind of works out, because that's what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do. And I kind of still struggle and battle with that. I mean, corporate America is great for some people, but it's really hard to do both. You kind of have to just commit at some point. So I, again, kudos to you for sticking to your guns and just following your passion and not really going back to that, more of the corporate side of things, and believing in your inner self.
Thank you.
Super and amazing. So what was your first steps into beauty? And you mentioned freelancing, doing hair and makeup for friends and family,
Mhm.
but you also did some agency work. So what were some things that prepared you into that, and how did that look for you? How did you first
Well,
start working with agencies and kind of taking that leap?
so before I even got to work with any legitimate photographer in any sense of the word legitimate, I was on Model Mayhem like so many other
Yes,
people
good old
trying
model
to
mayhem.
traumatizing myself. Oh my God, the stories. I still have it was like my second shoot on Model Mayhem. I don't have my first one because it was so bad. Like it wasn't me, it was just like collectively, it was just a terrible shoot. I'm like, I didn't mess this up. I'm like, it was so minimal, but it was just crazy. But the second shoot I had, I remember, like, I still have it on my phone because, like, I love to look back and laugh. I'm like, if I ever feel down about things,
You're like, if I
great to
need
look
to
back
crack
at.
up, here it is.
Oh my God, yeah. But eventually, I remember I was on Model Mayhem and I came across Robert Bacharski. He's a
Yes,
photographer. Because
I worked
is
with
he
him
still
as well.
shooting?
Yes.
Okay. So I remember I finally like broke through the barrier and I was like, please, I'm like, I'm not bad at what I do. I'm like, please, I need good photos. Like, let's work together. I'm like, whatever you need, So like I got some great shots with him. And then, just from there on out, I just kept networking and making sure that I was working with people like models in this case that were agency represented. And then, networking with photographers who actually were generating work that I could put in my portfolio and use. So then with that and making friends along the way and eventually just, hounding, I think it was Wilhelmina was my first agency, hounding them.
Mm,
They eventually signed me. So
okay.
yeah,
Keep hounding. I think I have my stalking game probably was at a 6, so maybe if I would have upped that game up to 9, I
just
could have
like
kept up with
pre-write
it
some
too.
emails and just have them on auto send.
Right, like,
Just keep
hello,
them.
remember me? Change your
Come
email every once
back.
again when they block you. But yeah,
Yes,
persistence is key. So that
it
definitely
is.
is great that you have that fighting and persistent spirit. What sacrifices did you have to make while building your name in this industry?
I feel like I sacrificed my entire 20s just to building my career, which I'm not mad at, of course, because it's like, I mean, you don't really have money in your 20s to like go have fun, you know?
Right.
So it's like, it's probably better that you do it that way. But I would just say my entire 20s was so dedicated to my career. And I feel like it also put a big strain on a relationship I was in for
Hmm.
majority of my 20s, but eventually my partner at the time like was understanding, and he like eventually got the gist of things and how it all works, rather than, you know, fighting with me about it as if like I have control over
Right.
how any of this
You
works,
got to
because
hit
it
it
would
when
not
it's
be
hot
this
in that
way.
industry. So
Right,
you're like, oh,
right.
actually,
So
I'm going to the movies. I can't work with this amazing,
they're
this
like, when
amazing
are you
shoot with
done?
this
I'm like,
photographer.
I don't know. Like, I don't know when I'm going to be done with work. I don't know what's going on,
Yes.
or if it's like something last minute, you know. It's really hard when you don't have people around you who aren't open to understanding how it all works, especially in the beginning, because, you know, there's so much, unfortunately, free work that we always have to
Right.
do
To
to
build your
build
book.
our portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that, and that in itself, it's like that is such a sacrifice of my time in general, and money I could be making, or just enjoying my life, you know. But luckily, it's my special interest. It's like it's what I'm all about. I'm obsessed with and know in depth. So, you know, it kind of balanced out in that sense. But it was hard, and eventually all my friends became work friends, because that's all you can really have is
They
work friends
understand
who
your life,
understand.
right? And
And
you're
then you see
seeing
them at
them all the
work.
time, probably more than your
Yeah.
regular friends. So they became your main friends. So I totally
Yes.
can relate to that. How important it was and is networking and relationships in helping you grow? Since you've just mentioned some of your work friends became your main friends,
Right.
your
It's
main peeps.
so
So.
important. It is tremendously important. I mean, in any industry really, but especially this, it's like it is all about who you know. I mean, you could be the best at what you do, and it, you know, essentially at a certain point doesn't matter.
You still have to
You know,
build the relationships, and I mean, it's so important when you do show up to a shoot or something, showing up on time, being
mhm.
organized. So all those skills definitely leave an impression, and a lot of times are the reason why people recommend you and call you back. So even if you do great work, but you're 30 minutes late, or
Right.
you're not pleasant to work with, you
Right.
really can't go as far. I mean, sometimes those are people who are horrible, just not very nice people, and still make it. But it all definitely takes you a lot further along if you can have a great personality and be good at your job. So
Definitely. And I see a lot of that here in LA. And I did in Chicago too. I will not hold back on that. So
what would you say is the most difficult market? I know you've worked in LA, you work in New York, Chicago. Is there a big difference in kind of the industry and what people are seeking and how to break through? Or once you get your name out there, is it just pretty easy to go between New York to LA?
well,
And
I really haven't done too much in New York. I've only been in New York once, and it was for like an influencer
okay,
event. But yeah, that was like a decade ago. It was
all
so
right,
funny, super random. But I would say, just from my experience strictly with LA and Chicago, I feel like Chicago was more difficult because it's smaller. And
right.
granted, you have a lot of like commercial and ad work and things like that, you know, and there's some TV and film if that's the route you go to, but it's still small. It's still very small. So it's limited. And I mean, that's, you know, ultimately why I left. I mean, a few reasons why, but I mean, that being part of it, because it's like, you know, not only was it not what I wanted to do, because I really wanted to do a lot of celebrity stuff. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
still would love to do more commercial again, just because, you know, good money, it's consistent, but you know, it's just it wasn't what resonated with me and like what drove me to like really want to do this. Because I guess being a Leo, you know, now that I've been
Okay.
in LA long enough with my zodiac knowledge now, it's, you know, I guess it's like a Leo thing for me. It's like I need something to show for. You know, I want to do like the glitz and the glam. I want
It
the
makes
bougie,
sense.
you
Why
know.
not?
It's fun. It's so fun. And then
Exactly.
just like seeing everything come together, it's like
Exactly.
super high stakes dress up is how I kind of look at it sometimes with red carpet,
Yeah,
you know.
you've worked with some major people out there, and I was looking through your portfolio like, wow, is that
Oh,
what
thanks,
Loretta
girl.
Devine? Like, what's going?
Oh my God,
That's
I
pretty
love
cool.
her.
She's a
She's
legend.
so cute. She's the best.
And I love I mean, just your style of makeup. I mean, you can put makeup on anyone. And I love to see the diversity in your work, seeing that you've done people's hair, women of color, just the diverse looks that you put together. I mean, I think that's a skill in itself. So that's amazing. And I could tell you really put a lot of time in to be able to just accommodate everyone and not just kind of just, okay, no, I can't do her hair. You know, I just stick to this look. It's just a very diverse portfolio. So you are
Thank you.
definitely doing your thing. So what would you say was your first major opportunity that felt like a turning point in your career?
I think a good like the one turning point I could think of when I just knew like things were going in a better direction is when I switched agencies. So I went from Wilhelmina to Exclusive Artists, and Exclusive rep me in Chicago.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that. Like they rep all over. But they rep me in Chicago, and I think it was my first job with them. Like it went really well. It was a do and go. I think I did makeup for Lauren Tom,
Hmm.
which she's a delight. And it turns out we are birthday buddies. We have the
Okay.
same birthday.
That makes it always
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah, and like I love her because she voiced some of my favorite cartoon characters, and it was just really great. I was like, oh my god, I get to
Just
work
had
with
that connection already. So
yeah, I was like, this is so cool, and I just felt like this is going in the right direction for sure, and it did because ultimately months later I was like, hey, what if I moved to LA? And they were like, yeah, like you do hair, makeup, and men's grooming, like we can definitely get you work. And I'm like, cool, I'll see you in 3 months, and I moved in less than 3 months.
awesome. Awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. So, what's the best advice someone in the industry ever gave you?
It's so funny. I was actually like on the phone with my friend for a while trying to figure that out. Um,
Like,
just
what was
because I've
it?
always been like I've always been very alone on my path. Like I never had a mentor or like
Hmm.
assisted very much.
Okay.
So I feel like I have a very like I guess unconventional start
Path.
and
Yeah.
situation because I've always been very like self-educated and self-reliant and like, always trying new things, techniques, whatever, blah blah blah, taking classes, the whole bit. Anyways, it was more of insight
Okay.
that I got that there was a predicament that I had, and this is kind of contributes to why like, I left Chicago. So I remember it was maybe like a year or two, maybe 3 years into living in LA, and I meet this one artist who's like, you know, two generations before me artistry wise, and she's been around a long time, super experienced, worked on all the supermodels like back in the day,
And this was someone out of LA or?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, she's from St. Louis. She worked in Chicago and
Okay.
then was in New York, then LA. So I remember I was talking to her. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, do you remember, these people from Chicago? She's like, oh yeah, I know like all of them. And we were talking about our favorite person, Debbie Jacks. Shout out to Debbie Jacks. Love her. But I just remember telling this artist, I was like, hey, you know, this is how I felt when I was in Chicago. I felt like, at a certain point, no one wanted to book me like as lead. It was kind of rare. It's like I was booking a lot of it on my own. And, being with Wilhelmina at the time, for some reason, my agent just wasn't very receptive to me. I don't
Why?
know why.
Why do you think that was? Or like, was there any reason that, or do you feel that they were kind of holding you back? And how did you
Yeah.
handle that to kind of
Well,
get out of that?
I went to a different agency when I
There
was
you
able
go.
to. That's what I did. And
Yeah,
it
that's
sucked
not good
because
that
it's
an
like,
agent, your agent is not pushing you. That's not going to work. So
and it's something that will always baffle me because it's the simple concept of like, if I make money, you
you
make
make
money.
money. Hello.
Like,
Exactly.
duh. So, and it's like I don't know if like my regular check-ins of like, trying to make sure clients were happy and like any feedback, like trying to, just know that I'm doing the right thing, and if there's anything needs to be discussed, we'll discuss it. Maybe that was a problem, I guess, just communicating, but I digress. So I remember I was telling her, I'm like, listen, this is my predicament. Like, I feel like, I'm not going anywhere. Like I wasn't going anywhere when I was there, and it's like I would take such pride in like my work, and there was many situations where I would be assisting people and I would end up having to do all of the people of color, anyone with textured
Yeah.
hair, because they couldn't do
They
it.
couldn't do it. Yeah.
And like I remember one particular job, there was a little girl, and I remember the look on her mom's face when the lead was like doing her hair, and I was like,
She's like,
why don't you come sit
do I
here?
need to
Like,
step in here?
yeah, like, hey, like, can you do him? Like, I need help with that, And she was just like, thank you. It was just situations like that were always like, oh my God. I'm like, this is such a fundamental shit. Like, just get with
Right.
it. But anyways, no, but I said to her, I'm like, this is like what I kept experiencing. And she's like, listen, she's like, people don't want to hire people on set that are so good at their job, back there. because you make everyone else look bad.
Right.
And that
They
was
don't want you
something I
taking their
couldn't.
spot.
Well, it was just like, but she meant like collectively, like the entire crew. So I'm like, why do people want to hire people who are mediocre or like
Right.
not accommodating to everyone? You know, like that doesn't look good to a client. Like
No.
that's how I would think of it. I'm like, wouldn't you want the best possible team for your
Yeah,
client?
exactly. Makes
Like
everybody look
these weren't
better.
like low budget jobs either. So it's like,
Exactly.
okay, but it took me a few years to actually kind of comprehend what she meant because I think for me, like my logic, it just never made sense. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Is going
oh
on
my,
here.
yeah, like seriously, it was so wild. But I was like, okay, like I see what you mean. It's like people who do take pride in their work, again, it's about who you know, and it's like the nepotism and things like that.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's not enough, and that was a tough lesson to learn. But I mean, hey, I left, so
You left and now you're doing your own thing. Your career has soared. So they're
thank
bad.
you.
They
Yeah, I'm
should have
not mad at it.
promoted
No.
you and believed in you and pushed you up through the ranks when you were there. So their loss. So can you tell me more? Do you have a signature style? And if you do, how did you develop that signature style?
Signature style. I feel like when it comes to makeup in particular, I'm usually very minimal with that because it seems like that's what a lot of people want. But it's like I can go glam, but I think for me it's like the focus is always going to be really good skin because no matter what you do otherwise, like
Mm-hmm.
everything will look great.
It's a
So I
foundation.
think
So.
just like a very like enhanced, better version of someone. But even if
Mm-hmm.
someone wants to go like dramatic and whatever, again, it's just making sure they still look like themselves.
That's important.
Yes, and like
I've
they
definitely been
feel
made to look like
comfortable.
Michael Jackson with contouring before, so I will throw that out there.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
I
oh,
don't.
Mike is great, but I'm not trying to look like him.
Right,
I'm
right.
okay with my features. Emerson, my dad's nose. I'm totally good with who I am. I don't need to look like someone else.
Yeah, and that's something else. Like, I don't like to carve out a new face on someone because that
Right.
just looks insane. But then, I don't know. Like when it comes to hair, I feel like for me, I don't know. I feel like I'm very technical rather than creative when it comes to these things.
Okay.
It's, obviously the health of the hair is my priority, number one. Like, I'm not trying to deep fry anyone's hair, like traction alopecia
Oh
anyone to
gosh,
death.
no.
No. But no, I just want it to look healthy and pretty and just ultimately my end goal with no matter what I am doing, be it hair or makeup, I want you to look so good that everyone is jealous of you and wants to be you.
Have
Like, and
you
you were
ever
just
had
so
a client
confident.
their hair was fried, and I mean not by you, but how do you
Oh my.
navigate those type of challenges?
Well, it kind of depends. I feel like where I saw it the most, like a lot of damage was with models, unfortunately.
Okay.
And that was always really heartbreaking because a lot of the time they're young and sometimes, they don't, advocate for themselves or like, don't know how yet. And I feel like it's a little bit better now, but like say 10 years ago, I would see like crazy, crazy damage on girls.
Mm.
And, say if there was, something, there was like, yeah, there was actually a job I was on and it was like a really minimal job that should have taken like a few hours, but the client dragged it out because they couldn't make up their mind with the shot. It was
Mm-hmm.
super stupid. It was for like a baby carrier.
Okay.
Um,
You have to have the
yeah,
best hair
like,
for the baby carrier, of course.
like we have to have it laid and slayed for the baby carrier. But they wanted
Exactly.
me to like this girl, she had textured hair and it was already like really damaged at the ends.
Yeah.
So they wanted me to like curl it and they're like, "Oh, can we press it and like straighten it?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not." That's where like I have no problem like telling a client,
Stepping
"No."
in. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I'm not about to fry someone's hair off their head. That's insane. I'm like, if you can't make up your mind, that's on you. But, you know, pick a model with straight hair then, if that's like going to be the issue. Like, my God. And, it's things like that. I feel like we have to advocate for models in these situations too, because, also like we carry liability and a lot of people forget that. It's like if you mess someone up bad enough, you can be sued.
Right.
Like, so it's like, I'm not trying to get sued. And also it's like, I
Exactly.
don't want to,
You
I
have
don't
to let
want to
people
harm
know, yeah,
someone.
what's best. Because, yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely can come back around to you. Has there ever been a
Mhm.
time where you're just like, whoa, we're going to take 2 inches off right here to make this work?
I
Or you
mean,
kind of just try to work with
there's,
whatever is presented and do your best?
I think what I've done, because like if it's a commercial job, like that type of work, I always bring like at least 60 sets of extensions with me. I have a huge
Wow.
bag.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I end up doing, like if someone's hair is like really jacked up or if their cut's really weird and like they can't cut it for some reason and they won't let me or I don't have time, I try to throw in
Run
some
some
extensions and then
extensions.
like kind of
Smart.
blend them. I'll slide cut it and like try to get everything like, cohesive, if you will. But I mean, there's been a few times where I've had like nightmarish situations and it's like there's only so much you can
That's
do,
true. But it
you
helps to
know?
have that magic bag with all your
It
tricks
does
and
make a
extensions.
difference.
No.
It does.
That is always makes the situation less stressful a little bit. Helps you out.
It
So
does.
what's something you mentioned you worked with celebrities and you love, working with celebrity clients. What's
Mhm.
something people would be surprised to learn about working with celebrity clients?
They're a lot nicer and normal than you would expect, at least on my end. I mean, I've had a few situations where I'm like, okay, some you could chalk it up to a bad day. Sometimes people are not nice, but for the most part, I mean, I've had pretty great people, especially like my like repeat clients.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, and it's always really interesting to see, each and every person, kind of in their, I don't even know how to say it. Like just like when they're, you know, promoting things and doing press and whatever, it's like seeing them on versus like, when the camera's off and just, we're behind the scenes chilling in the green room or something, you do get to know these people over time.
Yeah.
And, it's really, really fascinating learning about these people that you just typically would see and know nothing more,
And would you
you
say
know?
they're pretty friendly and open, most of the people that you work with?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all of my regular clients that I've had for a while, they're great, I mean, they're open, very nice, pretty easygoing usually. I mean, it's always a good time.
At this point, are all the jobs that you book through your agency, or do you also still do some freelance things on your own?
I would say majority are through my agency, but like I'll take like if it's like random little things unrelated. Like I know I had my client the other day, her and her wife had engagement photos. So like I did their hair for that. And that was just like, they hit me up like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, sure. So it's like I'll do my own stuff. And then, every now and then I have like haircut clients or extension clients I'll take and things like that.
And when you do those clients, is it in your home or are you mobile?
I usually just go to them just because
Okay.
like I have cats, so like I don't know about people's allergies, and there's also nowhere to park at my place.
Okay.
I don't have an extra spot, unfortunately, so it's just not
You're like,
conducive.
I'll
But
be
it's
there. I'll
easier
come to
just,
you.
yeah, I'll just go to them, and I don't know, it's fine. I'm so used to that in general that it's like, no one needs to come over here. I'm just gonna go here.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
So, fashion and beauty are very closely connected. So,
Yes.
what beauty or fashion trends are inspiring you right now in your makeup and your looks that you're putting out there?
Mm. Well, I feel like lately I've been seeing really pretty glowy makeup and it's like lighter on the eyes. It's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
we're bringing back that early 2000s like Victoria's Secret glam where it was like, I wouldn't say frosty, but more of like a shimmery lid
Mm-hmm.
and more like focus on the lash, not anything smoky. It's just very like ethereal. That's
Okay.
what I'm seeing with makeup. And then for hair, I feel like hair is kind of like, for me at least, with what I have been doing, a lot of people still are like stuck on like getting a solid blowout, which I love. I love doing blowouts. They're great. Um, so blowouts for sure. And then yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think with men if there's any like trends I've seen there. I think I'm still seeing, a lot of textured kind of cuts more so than like clean cut, very like lived in kind of looks. But I love it. I love things that lean a little bit more natural with that. But then again, I mean, the other day I just did a like precision haircut
Mm.
for a comedian. She's like a precision bowl cut. Her name's Atsuko.
How did you
Um,
learn how? I mean, all these like men, because sometimes people kind of, I mean, they can cut women's hair or cut men's hair, but they kind of stay in one lane.
mhm.
Was it difficult to kind of master grooming, or is that something also for men came
I
pretty
mean,
naturally to you?
it's for men, I feel like obviously there's nuance with people who have like, very particular things. But in general, grooming's usually pretty easy. Like I don't find it to be
Not too difficult.
tremendously complex. But haircuts is where it can get really difficult. And
Okay.
then or just more intricate, I should say. Then like, with facial hair too, everyone has preferences and some people are way more particular than others. So it's like, one client that might take you 20 minutes to get ready, you might need like an hour and a half for someone else because you gotta, cut, do all kinds of things and whatever else, it just really depends on the person. But no, I think just I had a fixation on learning how to cut hair after beauty school because I really didn't know how to cut hair
Okay.
when I
You're like,
yeah,
I got
that's a
enough
very
in to
common.
pass the state board. Now let's really
Oh,
get to work.
the state board in Illinois, I'm sorry, it was a joke. It was an actual joke. It was the easiest thing on earth. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I literally, like, I don't even know what to say right now. But eventually I was so fixated on learning how to cut that I bought like a ton of mannequin heads, just watched a ton of videos, would practice, and just, cutting in general, just like getting in the hang of it. And eventually I've just kind of nailed certain things down. But when it comes to like men's cuts, I'm really particular with how I do them because I like to do shear over comb versus like a clipper. I mean, sometimes I have to
Okay.
use clippers, but it just grows out better. It looks nicer. And I think it just has a more like professional finish in some regards with like the type of cut you're doing. So it's like I'm not a barber, but I do cut men's hair. So it's like barbering's a little different.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's
Like I'm
pretty
not doing
cool.
a drop fade on anyone
You're not doing
anytime
that.
soon.
Okay.
No.
Could you if they ask?
I mean, I probably could, but
Okay.
like I would just be really neurotic about it, and it
Okay.
might take me a minute.
You want to make sure it's top notch. So I understand
Oh
that.
yeah, I get crazy about my haircut sometimes. I'm like, oh my god,
As you should. Nobody wants a jacked up haircut, so as you
no.
should be. You should be a perfectionist, and
Yes.
I'm not mad about that at all. So
Right.
let's have a little fun. Let's jump to. We're gonna do something called the beauty speed round. So I'm
Okay.
gonna ask you some really quick, fast questions. Don't give it too much thought. Just give me the first thing that comes to mind, and let's kind of get into it.
Okay.
So, question number one: what makeup product you think you just really can't live without?
I guess it's like kind of a crossover between skincare and makeup, but the D'Alba First Spray Serum. I actually
What do you
have
love
it.
about that product? Oh, we
I mean,
got it
I have
right
like
there. I
six.
love it.
I don't know if you can even see it. Yeah, 6 backup bottles of this because it's like a dual phase. So it's kind of got like an oily serum at the top, and the rest
Okay.
is like water. It's hydrating and it leaves like a nice sheen on the skin. But I kind of like to use it in between layers of makeup and foundation and whatnot, just to keep the skin kind of like moist and hydrated, especially if you're like a dehydrated skin type. So
Can
it's
you
really
get that
helpful
like
for
at
that.
Ulta or where can you get
I
that?
can't remember if you can get it at Ulta, but TikTok Shop and Amazon are your best bet.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for the visual. I need to look into that for sure. Name one beauty trend that you wish would kind of like just go away.
Oh God. One beauty trend that I would wish that would just go away. Well, I feel like a lot of it has gone away, like
Okay.
the blocky 2016 eyebrows. I don't see that
Oh,
very
right.
much
You're right about
anymore.
that.
Oh my God, no, like we were in the trenches. Oh my Lord, including myself too. Like we were all looking crazy. But yeah,
That's kind of
I'm glad we've
died
moved
down.
past that.
Okay. Favorite hairstyle that you think brings instant confidence?
For women,
Yeah.
I would say if you like your hair on the longer side, any sort of like nice cascading, like face framing layers, I feel like always looks so pretty on anyone, really. And then if you like it shorter, like a textured bob
Hmm.
always looks really cute.
Yeah, you
I
can't go
feel
wrong
like
with the
those
bob.
two, yeah.
All right. Biggest makeup mistake people make, in your opinion?
Mm, biggest makeup mistake. There's a lot of those I see. I feel like over powdering is a big one. And then not, well, I mean, I have two that are my big gripes: over powdering and then using primer in place of skincare.
Now tell me about primer. I every time I professionally get my makeup done, someone puts primer. I think it just makes it stay longer. I have no idea how to use it, and I never know. I've never purchased it at home. I'm like, okay, primer. What does it
Well, I
do?
feel like the thing is, it's like if you have a really solid hydrated base,
Hmm.
like and your skin is like adequately hydrated, not too much skincare is on your face. That's another like, kind of like catch 22 there sometimes people experience. But As long as you are hydrated, your makeup should go on just fine. But say if you face something like where you're like insanely oily, using an oil control primer in those areas, that's ideal. Or if you have like big pores, you can use like a pore filling primer of some sort or a blurring one in that spot. You don't have to use like one thing all over. So it's like targeting things with certain products that are meant for a purpose like that rather than just like a general all-purpose primer. That's gonna work to your favor rather than just like putting a primer all over and just adding another layer of bulk when you don't need to, if that makes any sense. Because that's kind of how I feel with primers. I rarely use them unless I have someone who's like, I'm super oily or like I'm really sweaty, I need like anti-sweat, whatever it may be. Like, then you utilize those things. But if you don't have to, don't do it. It doesn't make sense.
I guess I'm doing okay then. I don't know.
Yeah. You don't need it.
All right. One beauty hack everyone should know.
So if you do eyeliner on like your waterline, I can't attest to the complete like eye safety of this, but it's something I've always done and all of my South Asian clients love it. But when we do like waterline liner, especially if it's black, I go over it with black eyeshadow and it's not going anywhere. It will stay.
So it helps it stay.
It sets it and it's super, super intense. So it's like you have like a crazy contrast and then like lots of longevity. And I feel like it also like if the eyeshadow reaches like into your lash line, it nicely diffuses things too. So you can like blend it out if you really want to. But it's really good tip I've probably done since I was a kid.
I never knew that. I have to try that. I feel like my eyes always water and probably within 2 hours I have no eyeliner or it's just running in the corners. Then I'm always afraid to use the waterproof because I just can't get the damn stuff off. So I'm always challenged in that area. So I'm
what
like,
you
just
can
put
do
some lashes
too.
on and maybe no one, it enhances my eyes and I don't have to really worry about it as much.
No, totally. But like if you feel like it's too watery, like before you put it on, I would just like keep your eye down and don't let it go back up, but like Q-tip it, then put your eyeliner on.
All right.
And then set it. And then it's because it's like that way that waterline isn't wet. I mean, your eyes will probably feel a little dry, but and not, I don't know. I've had some people with contacts, like they're okay with doing that, but some prefer not to. So it really just, it depends on you.
What works for you.
Yeah.
All right. Red carpet glam or editorial beauty? What is your
red carpet. Red carpet.
Red carpet?
Yeah.
Have you been on a lot of red carpets and how is that for you?
How was
your first red carpet? Oh, okay.
My first and last red carpet.
Okay, well, not your last, me to get you on another one.
Well, it's like physically being present there. Like, I feel like that only happens when you have like a huge client or your client is like, one of the huge people in said thing. My client, Sholo Mariduena, he's like one of my main people I've had for a few years now. I absolutely love him. He's such a delight to work with. It was really funny because he has like such great skin and great hair and he always holds up really well. So, touch-ups on him typically aren't very major. So he was in the Smurfs movie. He was like voice of Brainy Smurf. And I remember my agent's like, oh, like you have him for the premiere. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. And they're like, you're going with him. And I'm like,
that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Like I was like, that's fine. But I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, of all the things that I have to go with to someone, it was for
like the Smurfs premiere.
But it was really cute. They had it set up so nicely, but it was a really fun time. That was the only time I've been asked to be like there for touch-ups on a carpet. And it was a blue carpet. Wasn't even red.
Not even red. Well, I feel a red carpet moment coming for you soon. So let's speak that to in existence. All right. So what advice, that's the end of the beauty speed round. So kind of moving on. What advice would you give young creatives trying to break into the beauty industry right now?
Make content.
Oh my gosh, I struggle. I try.
It is the hardest.
Hence me doing a podcast. But is that something that you kind of excel at or you enjoy, or is it kind of like, okay, I know I have to do this just to keep things out there and keep growing my following?
It's difficult because I feel like I'm really good with like I feel like I was actually like looking back at my old photos, like my Instagram, like how it was before I moved. It's so funny. It was like so aesthetically pleasing and like I would take all these like cute little product photos and whatever, and it's different now, but I should be doing that still. I'm just like I'm so burnt out from the content. After COVID, I like mentally checked out of my Instagram game And I didn't get on TikTok until like maybe like 3 years ago or something like that. So it's like
Okay.
I'm behind the curve.
Okay.
But, you know, content for me, I feel like is a struggle because I want it to be unique because I have like a weird thing about being like very original and not repeating things.
Okay.
You know, I try to make content that's like, you know, things that you
Fresh and
don't
new.
typically
Yeah.
see. Like I just repaired a curling iron that I bought when it because I needed it like right away. Like typically like T3, they're a phenomenal brand, love them. But I had to buy a body weigher for a job and it broke. It broke like it was brand new.
And
The
you
little
repaired
stuff.
it?
Yes, because you know I'm insane and I fall down these rabbit holes and I read all the time. That's
Okay.
why I know like a lot of random things. I just read a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
But years ago, I fell down a rabbit hole about adhesives. So I learned a
Okay.
lot about adhesives. And then in that moment, I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, the thumb, like the plastic part that's on the clamp that you press down,
Yeah.
that's broken off.
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of epoxy putty that is heat resistant
Hmm.
to use. So what did I do? Googled it and I found JB Weld High Heat and it's like up to like 4,000 psi it can withstand.
Wow.
And it listed a bunch of materials it was compatible with, which hard plastic and metal. So I used that and I literally just, you know, I prepped the surface of the like metal part on the iron and then the plastic, mixed up the putty, put it on, had a clamp on it, and it worked. It fixed it.
I'm very impressed. All I would do is wrap tape around that sucker until it was thick enough and I couldn't feel the heat.
I'm
So
like,
you
I'm
definitely
so
went above and
grateful.
beyond.
T3 was really sweet and they did reach out. They're like, we'll send you a new one. I'm like, thank you so much. You guys are great. Like, and they've always been like super supportive. Like, I
Awesome.
absolutely love T3. They're so great. Um, but yeah, it was just really funny because I'm like, oh, I might as well make a video about this. And like, I feel like sometimes they don't do very well, which is fine, but it's, you know, very like niche
Right.
knowledge that you're not going to typically come across.
Right. I wouldn't know
So
that. So I'm pretty
I try
impressed.
to make things, worthwhile. If you're going to watch my video, you're going to learn something
Something
useful.
new. I love
Yeah.
that. So what are you most excited about in this chapter of your career?
Just going onward and upward, just trying to get more clientele, you know, bigger and better things really, but also staying with all the people I currently have because I love them to death and they're doing amazing as well. So it's like, you know, being a part of both of our journeys together, you know, my clients and myself, it's really a tremendous experience and I'm really grateful for all of it.
So
Very fortunate.
if everyone wants to continue to watch you and see your work, where can everyone follow you and continue to support you?
So on Instagram, I'm at the Sophia Porter. It's Sophia. And then on TikTok, it's Sophia's 2 cents. Just like pennies, like 2 pennies, like 2 cents.
Say it one more
So
time just so we got it. Instagram again.
Instagram is the Sophia Porter.
Okay.
And TikTok is Sophia's 2 cents.
Awesome. All right. Well, I really enjoyed talking to you today, reconnecting. You look amazing. I'm so happy that you said yes. Wasn't even nervous to reach out. I knew you were such a cool girl, and I've always loved working with you. So thank you for everyone to listening. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at Front Row Fashion Pod. Again, at Front Row Fashion Pod. Share this episode and follow us for more conversations with creatives shaping the fashion and beauty culture from the front row. And remember, never wait for permission. Claim your seat at the front row.